This
please reach out
conference
to
will now
Don.
be recorded.
Please reach out to Don, and he will arrange to provide you with a link so you can do that survey, because again, it is a requirement. We do need to know the legal name of your organization under question 4. Number 5, what is your EIN number in the US or your business number in Canada? For tax purposes, we do have to enter that information on our own 990s, so we do require that. We would like to know what your camp's website address is so we can refer that to our stakeholders. And we're interested to know if you own or rent your camp facilities. That gives us an idea in relation to your operating costs, why they are as they are. Question number 8 on the next page. What amount did you receive last year from care camps, and what amount are you asking for this year? If you're not 100% sure of what you got last year, just put in 1111 or something similar, and I have that information on file, so it's not necessary to worry if you don't have the exact number. And then how much you'd like to receive this year under the Plan 2019 amount. If your increase is more than 10% over last year, if you know how much you got last year and it's more than 10%, please give us an explanation as to why, so that we have a better understanding of why you need the additional funding. That helps us know if you're expanding your programs or you've added another camp, or if your operating costs for rental space have drastically increased. Under number 10, we need to know where your camp is located. We do have an interactive map on our website, which shows locations of the camps we support across North America. To help us with plotting those sites on the map, we ask, if you have it, to provide us with your longitude and latitude so that we can get that up on our camp. We would like to know who the executive in charge of your camp is. It may not necessarily be you if you're filling in from a fundraising perspective. So if we could get the information for your executive in charge, that would be great. If you are operating under an umbrella organization, such as a hospital or, for example, the Camp Quality umbrella, we'd like to get the information there for who oversees your camp. Question 13, if you're successful in receiving a grant, who should we make the check payable to? In the past, we've discovered that it isn't necessarily the camp's name that the check needs to be in order for the bank to deposit it correctly. So this allows us to ensure we won't have to send checks back and forth. If you are successful in receiving a grant, we do send out our grant checks in 2 different delivery modes. One is if you are a Connect-A-Camp and the KOA you work with is actively involved with your camp, then we will be sending the check to your KOA and they will deliver it to you. If you are not participating in the Connect-A-Camp program, or if your Connect-A-Camp is too far away, we will deliver the check to whichever address you put down on question 14. On the next page, this is questions related to the Connect-A-Camp program. First of all, we'd like to know if you're actively involved, and if so, which of the KOAs you're connected with. Under question 16, we're interested in getting some feedback on that relationship. Is it going well? Have they been hard to get in touch with? Have you been doing interactive activities? So have they come out to your camp, or have you gone out to theirs? In some cases, some of our KOAs hold regional meetings for you. And so we just like to make sure that's an effective program that we should continue to promote and work on. Under question number 17, have you been certified as a gold ribbon camp by COCA as yet? The goal for us and our deadline is December 31st, 2021. So in order to continue receiving funding after that date, you will need to be a gold ribbon camp. And gold ribbon has 2 classifications. One includes a camp visit and one doesn't. Both of them are sufficient in order to qualify for question 18. Question 19. Excuse me, have you been to the COCA conference or regional meeting in the last 3 years? We do believe that professional development and interactions with your peers is is necessary in order to keep abreast of what's happening in the camp, the oncology camp field. So again, this is a requirement that you do participate in some type of interaction and PD. So if you could fill in question 19. Excuse me. Unfortunately, not everyone can make it out to these events, and we'd like to really know why not. In particular, if it is a concern about funding. Excuse me, just one sec. Sorry, allergy season has started. So if you haven't been able to connect, just want to make you aware that this year COCA is offering a stipend project to help fund some camps to attend the convention or the conference, and Don will be providing more information out to the COCA members about how to qualify for that stipend, which will cover travel costs as well as the registration fee for the conference. Under question 21, do you belong to any other associations besides COPAC, which is the Canadian Association, or the American Camp Association? If you do, we'd just like to know where you're also associated with, so that we can see what other agencies we may want to work with to help promote the organization. Question 22, is the facility that you're renting or that you own accredited by the American Camp Association? That lets us know that you're meeting their minimum guidelines, and again, it helps us enforce ensure the quality of the camps that we are supporting. Question 23, if for any reason you've received any other endorsements or certificates that you're proud of, we'd love to hear about them. So if you could enter those in box number 23. New to us this year are questions 24 to 28. And these only relate if you are a children's oncology group, or if you're associated with a children's oncology group hospital. If not, you can just fill in no to all those questions and continue on. If you are, again, indicate yes and then continue on. We just want to get a feel for how many of the member camps are associated with the hospital and how much involvement the hospital has with the operations of your camp. Skipping over to question 29, we're now into information related to the actual camp sessions. And so question 29 is your age range for last year and planned age ranges for this year. Do you operate your camp on a year-round basis? Question 31, is it a day, an overnight, or both? Question 32, how many sessions will you be offering? And again, this relates to the oncology sessions only. If you are operating other sessions, I don't need to know about them if they're for other diseases or for other disabilities. We strictly want the information related to the oncology portion of your program. Again, for question 33, on what dates will the oncology programs be held? And then on question 34, how many days and nights in each of those sessions? So on the question 33, you have areas for 4 sessions, and then on 34, if you could put the dates for those sessions in the same order, that would be appreciated. Question 35, how many days in total was your camp operating during 2019? Again, this relates exclusively to the oncology portion of your camp. So I don't need to know, again, camps for disabilities, camps for other diseases, strictly the cancer portion of your camp. Question 36, how many unique children with or in remission from camper did you serve? So if one child goes to 7 camps, he only counts as one unique child. We're looking for numbers for actual last year and planned for this year. Same thing for unique siblings. So if a sibling goes to 3 or 4 camps, he still only counts as one unique person. And if you could enter that information in 37. If you're also servicing parents and grandparents, we'd ask that you please enter that information in question number 38. And 39, we have been informed that some of the camps do other related people, such as aunts, uncles, step-parents, that kind of thing, that aren't involved in the specific family. So if you are doing that, we ask if you could please fill that in under question 39 and just give us a bit of information as to who those people are. One of the most important questions on the application is question number 40. Have you turned away any campers or any participants because you lack funding or you have a shortage of space? This is very important when we're trying to solicit donations from our stakeholders to let them know how many people we have not been able to allow to go to camp because it wasn't possible because of funding. And then on question 41, if you answered yes in question 40, if in question 41, if you could let us know how many of those children were turned away. Again, this relates only to the oncology portion of your camps. Question 42, again, this relates to your operating costs in total, and please do not include costs related to any other illnesses or your gifting kinds or your fundraising costs, just the basic operating costs. Question 43 addresses the issue of gifting kinds. I know a lot of our camps get donations in for food service and arts and crafts supplies and things like that. So if you could provide us, and it can just be an estimate if you don't have the actual specific dollar amount as to how much gifting kinds you're receiving. Question 44, if you could give us the average per day cost per child, that would be appreciated. So take your total operating costs plus your gift in kind support, less any of your ownership costs. So the ownership costs would be related to only specific for those camps that own their own site, so property taxes and building maintenance and that kind of stuff. And then divide it by the number of children with cancer and the number of days in your camp session. So it brings us down to costs per day. We use that cost per day when we are, again, soliciting donations so that we can give the people donating an idea of how many days worth of camping their donation will be covering. Question 45 asks about those camps that do have ownership. So that's where you would put the taxes, repairs, and maintenance costs of having your own facility. Question 46 asks what percentage of your total budget for the camps that you're requesting. Our guideline is to fund 10%. There are some exceptions, but that's our basic guideline. And we try to accommodate that. We want to make sure that you're not 100% reliant on us for funding. So if something were to happen at care camps, you would still be sustainable and still be able to run your programs. Not necessarily at the same level, but you wouldn't have to shut down like those camps that had to when the American Cancer Society pulled out their funding. Question number 47, did you meet your fundraising goals for last year? So again, an idea for us to know what areas you're lacking in fundraising dollars. Next page is all questions about this year's camp and how it's structured. First question is how many camp staff, including counselors, you need to run your camp program. And again, this relates to the oncology camp portion. How many of your staff or counselors are paid for their services? Question 50 is how many of your staff receive more than $100,000 in remuneration? This just gives us an idea as to the size of your camp and your operations. It does not disqualify you from receiving a grant. It's more an informative question for us to know what trends the camps have in relation to operating and staffing costs. Question 51 is how many volunteers that you have not counted above are involved with the operations of your camp. Question 52, this question is asking how many of your volunteers were previously campers at your camp. So they attended the camp and now they've come back as volunteers. Question 53, our mission is to solely fund oncology camps, so we are asking that the funds that you do receive from us are used for your current cancer programs for this year, and we just double check here to make sure that that's what it's going to be used for given the way your camp is set up. Question 54 is a list of the items that are required as supplementary information in order to qualify for your grant. So before we can release funding, we will need in hand all of those items. The middle one that says operating statements for 2018, that's actually equivalent to your profit and loss. So we're looking for your revenue and expense numbers for 2018 if you haven't been able to provide us with the audited statements yet. And that is the sum of the questions related to the camp itself. The next part is in relation to promoting
Karen?
the camp. Yeah, sure.
Karen, this is Don. We have a question here from Lauren Burke from Camp Quality Canada, and I'm going to ask her to open up her microphone and ask the question, if that's okay.
Sure, absolutely.
Lauren, you're on.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, Laura.
I'm just asking, are we filling out one form per camp quality, or are we doing?
Lauren, can you speak up a little bit, please?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Well, I tell you what, Lauren seems to be having trouble with microphone. Karen,
but I think I got the gist of her question.
Okay,
for
very
camp
good.
quality, each camp has to submit its own application. So in regards to Camp Quality Canada, you would do Camp Quality Northwestern, Camp Quality Northeastern, Camp Quality Southern Ontario. However, last year, because it's one organization, the Nikki submitted one spreadsheet with all of the information for all of the camps in columns, and we had someone actually enter that data. So if you would like to do the same this year, you're more than welcome to. And hopefully that's the answer to the question I think you were asking.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Karen.
Okay, no problem. So for the next page, question 55, these are questions more in relation to marketing promotion from both of our sides. We ask that if you have a link to care camps on your website, if not, we would encourage you to add one. We are asking if you have an opportunity to add our KOA logo on any of your promotional material to show that you are a member camp. We love to get DVDs and pictures. We will be once again running our photo contest, and this year we've added a video portion to that contest. The contest should open the end of March. It will close September 15th. We do give financial prizes to the winners. Last year, first place took $2,000, second place took $1,000, third place took $500 home for their member camp. And we will be doing a similar structure for this year, I believe. That information will be announced at the end of the month. But at any time during the year, not just at the time we're doing the contest, we always love to receive pictures and DVDs, and we do share those out to our stakeholders as we get them. Question number 58, we are asking if any of your staff are willing to participate in some of the care camp fundraising activities. So in the past, we've had events close to your camps, and we've invited campers out, for example, to the Steve Arpin races or to one of Stephanie Quayle's concerts. And this is just asking if you would be willing to participate in some of our fundraising projects. So that completes the portion related to the actual operating grants. So I think at this point we'll stop and see if there's any other questions before we talk about the capital improvement grants. So Dawn, if you have any questions that are out there right now, just let me know.
Oh, right now, we don't. But I would ask everybody out there to either speak up or send us a chat message right now. Otherwise, we can just move
Perfect.
on. Okay.
So the next section is on our capital improvement grants. We do have some money set aside each year to help you buy items that would improve or benefit your camp operations. So they can be things like arts and crafts supplies, archery supplies, first aid supplies. We have done golf carts. We have done handicap swings. We have done inflatable pools. And so there's radios. There's a very wide range of things that we're prepared to look at. And so the next questions 59 through to the end, all relate to the capital items that you might want. Our average grant runs $3,500 to $5,000. It really depends on how many people ask for capital grant funding, what we can fund. And so that will be decided after April 15th when the application process closes. But question 59 allows you to put down 3 items in order of priority that you would like to have purchased for your camp. Question 60, we ask based on those items in that order, if you can tell us what benefit those items would bring to your programs, how they would improve it. And if you could let us know in question 61 what the total cost of the item is that you're looking to acquire. Question 62 asks what percentage of the funding you already have. If it's a larger program, a larger item that costs more substantial money, like $15,000 or something like that, we ask if you do have the money or some portion of that money to help fund it in addition to what care camps would be asked for. So of the total, question 63 says, how much of the total funds would you like us to provide to help you purchase those items? Question 64, do you own your facilities where you hold your camp? This one is not a yes or no, that if you own your camp, you're not going to get a capital grant. It just lets us know that we have to be aware that there's another person or another organization involved in the decision. So we would have to reach out to them if it's going to be a permanent item that's going to be placed on their campground to make sure that we have permission to do so. Question number 65 asks if we aren't able to provide funding, will you still proceed with the project? Again, giving us an idea of how capable you are of funding it yourself, or if it's a make or break decision for you. And then just a percentage, if you've already done some fundraising towards the items, what percentage of those costs do you have available? And that is the end of the survey, or the end of the grant application. The grant applications must be submitted by April 15th. We will be back to you sometime between April 15th and April 30th to let you know how much your operating grants will be. Checks will be issued the start of May, and you should have them no later than the 15th of May timeframe. They will go out one of 2 ways, as I previously stated, either to the KOA or by mail directly to your camp. If you do not receive the check by the end of May, please reach out back to me, send me a quick email, let me know you haven't got it, because sometimes the KOA owners, it's the start of their season and they get pretty busy, and so they just need a quick, gentle reminder to make that reach out to you to make sure that you're going to get the check from them. I think that is everything I needed to cover. Again, if there's any questions on anything that we've covered today, you can either give me a call. My phone number is 800-431-0513. That's a toll-free number, 800-431-0513. or you can email me if it's a detailed message and you want a detailed answer back. My email is kmcandrew, so it's KMCANDREW at KOAcarecamps.org. So kmcandrew at KOAcarecamps.org. Either way, I will get back to you within as quickly as I can to answer those questions so that you can get your applications in on time. And I think that's it. Back to you, Don.
Okay, last chance to ask questions. I don't see any coming up. Karen, I want to personally thank you once again for all you do. I know that everybody out there is, very excited about working with KOA, and to the membership out there as well. Please know that Karen's your key contact, but feel free to reach out anytime to either myself or Jennifer Amundsen to help this process along. With that being said, in respect to everybody's time, I want to thank you for joining us and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank
Goodbye,
you so much.
everybody.
You guys take care. Thanks for everything you do for the kids.